The HDMS Iver Huitfeldt was born from Denmark's StanFlex philosophy, a cost-saving modular concept that reused the basic hull design of the Absalon class and incorporated weapon modules from decommissioned ships like the Niels Jewel class. To this recycled skeleton, engineers bolted a suite of cutting-edge sensors, brand new Thales APAR and Smart L radars, a modern Terma Scanter 6000, and the domestically developed C-Flex combat management system. The result was a hybrid warship that mixed Dutch radars, American missiles, Danish software, and Italian guns, all forced to communicate through middleware never designed for such a diverse ecosystem. In peacetime exercises, the handshakes held, the systems talked, the missiles simulated, the admirals smiled. But buried deep in the interface between the Thales radar and the Terma CMS was a latent bug, an unresolved protocol vulnerability that would remain dormant until the data deluge of real combat triggered it without warning. On the night of the 9th of March 2024, as waves of Houthi kamikaze drones bore down on the frigate, the APAR radar began flooding the C-Flex combat management system with tracking data on multiple low-speed, low-radar cross-section targets. The middleware bridging the radar and the CMS buckled under the load, and a known but unpatched issue in the interface caused a cascading failure. This did not blank every screen or blind the entire ship. The crew immediately switched to a backup radar and maintained situational awareness, but it severed the digital link to the Raytheon Mk56 vertical launching system. For roughly 30 minutes, the frigate could not launch a single RIM 162 evolved Sea Sparrow missile. In an engagement lasting just under 1 hour, this was an eternity. The most advanced air defense system in the Danish fleet had been reduced to a spectator, its primary weapons frozen not by enemy jamming but by a software handshake that collapsed under the very stress it was designed to withstand. With the ESSM launchers disabled, the crew turned to the ship's two OTO Melara 76mm cannons to fend off the approaching drones. Here they encountered a second, unrelated but equally dangerous failure. The standard combat ammunition was more than 3 decades old, retrofitted in 2005, with proximity fuzzes designed for a different era of aerial threats, not for small, agile drones. As the guns opened fire, approximately half of the proximity-fused rounds detonated almost immediately after leaving the muzzle, far too early to engage the targets. The crew had no choice but to keep firing, consuming ammunition at an alarming rate simply to keep the drones at bay. This was not a software problem, but a logistical one, a consequence of relying on aging stockpiles that had never been validated against the kind of asymmetric aerial threats now swarming the Red Sea. Despite these compounding failures, the crew's professionalism prevailed. They successfully destroyed 4 unmanned aerial vehicles using a combination of previously fired ESSMs and the struggling 76mm guns. The ship's commanding officer, Captain Sune Lund, filed a blunt and detailed report documenting the entire cascade of failures. However, Chief of Defense Flemming Lentfer failed to forward this report to the Minister of Defense, leaving the political leadership unaware of the near catastrophe, until investigative journalists from OLFI and DR obtained leaked communications and broke the story. The revelation that the problem had been known within technical circles for years, without any sense of urgency to resolve it, ignited a political firestorm in Copenhagen. Lentfer was swiftly dismissed, not for orchestrating a cover-up, but for a fatal lapse in communication that shattered trust between the military command and civilian oversight. The incident exposed a culture where critical technical warnings could languish in bureaucratic limbo until the moment they manifested under fire, when it was already far too late. The Iver Huitfeldt engagement in the Red Sea delivers a sobering message to every Navy modernizing legacy hulls with multi-vendor combat systems. The problem was not obsolete hardware. The Thales radars were state-of-the-art, and the Terma CMS was a modern domestic achievement. The failure lay in the invisible seams, the interfaces, the middleware, the software bridges that turned a collection of excellent individual components into a fragile digital jigsaw puzzle. When combat stress exceeded the tolerance of those seams, the system did not degrade gracefully. It dropped its most critical function at the worst possible moment. The crew's ability to adapt, switch to backups, and still destroy 4 drones is a testament to human resilience, not system design. This case proves that in modern naval warfare, a warship is not defined by its missiles or its radars alone, but by the stability of the code that binds them together. A fleet that neglects that code, that defers software patches while approving hardware upgrades, is not maintaining combat readiness. It is stockpiling the ingredients for a catastrophe that will unfold precisely when the next drone swarm appears on the horizon.